This lesson is for SNA Sort 5. We will be continuing to add suffixes to words, but we are moving suffixes, and this week we will be looking at the suffix ed, which typically turns a root word into past tense. So you may notice similarities between the categories from last week when we were looking at the suffix ing. And there are a lot of similarities because it follows the same rule. There are some tricky words this week, some things that we're going to be talking specifically about to keep in mind as you study. And so let's go ahead and review the words first. And I want you to kind of start thinking about what you already know from Sort 4. Hopped, hoped, joined, acted, planned, saved, waited, wanted, grabbed, closed, helped, nodded, scored, shouted, started, stirred, stepped, named, passed, dropped, chewed, lived, seemed. Okay, let's go ahead and go back up to our categories, and we are going to start with double. So if you remember from the last sort 4, you had to double the last consonant of the word before you added the suffix ing. That same rule applies this week as well. There is one thing that I do want to show you. So the first word in this category is hopped. Now, hopped and hoped are easily mixed up because they look so similar, and you really need to know the rule to spell it consistently correctly. So, hopped is part of the double because of the root word. The root word is hop, H-O-P, so it's a CVC. That last consonant, P, must be doubled before that ed is added. So that's why hopped is in the double category. So let's go ahead and finish out the category, and then we will look at those. All right, those are our words and our double category. And you will notice that each of these root words end in a consonant, and they have all been doubled before the ed was added. So that is something to really pay attention to, that when the word stops, the last letter is that consonant before we add the ed. Another category for adding an ed is an e drop. And from before, you know that at the end of these words, the e must drop away before the ed is added. So all of these words will have the e at the end. Let's look at these. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the first word, which is hoped. Now, we looked at hopped earlier, and so I have hoped right next to it so that you can see the difference. So our root word is hope here. Notice it ends in an E. That's why the O is long in hoped, while the O in hop is short. So hoped is going to be a long O, and the E drops away so that the ED can come in and attach. So again, we have save, close, score, live, and name. You might say, well, there's still an E there. It hasn't dropped away. It actually has. If it hasn't dropped away, then you would have a double E before the D, which we do not have. So it must drop away so the ED can come in and attach. Okay, let's go ahead and look at nothing. So that means that all of our words here stay the same, and the ED is just joined in. The root word does not change at all. Okay, so this is the longest category. These words do not change before the suffix is added to our word. I do want to draw your attention to the word pass. You'll notice that there is a double S, but that is how the root word is spelled. So it's not considered a double word because it doesn't change. So keep that in mind as you are looking over your words. So the rules for the ED suffix is the same for the rules for the ING suffix. So keep that in mind as you are looking over the words.